and welcome to No Such Thing as a Bad Movie Podcast.
Summer edition!
Yes, summer edition. We got to talk about some summer blockbusters. I'm April Atmansky. And
I'm Justin Clue.
I'm Colin Cunningham.
Justin R.
I'm Colin Cunningham. Man, speaking of blockbusters, this movie fucking blew the walls off the block.
It blew the roof off the blockbuster and off the theaters.
And
spoiler alert, when the climax was happening, Emily shook me and she's like, you fell asleep while watching it. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh boy.
Doing an explosion that lulled me to sleep.
This also blew the doors off of Carolco.
Carolco Entertainment?
Carolco. You could say it sent them to the bottom of the ocean.
Well, Renny Harlin likes to say that Carolco was already insolvent by the time the movie was shooting.
I'm sure it had nothing to do with
was.
the actual movie being shot.
Now, you have stories about this, right? Are you the one who told
me?
me that Renny Harlin, I know you didn't work on it, but like Renny Harlin and Gina Davis, like they were obsessed with a particular type of food while shooting the film? Where did I hear the story?
No, I was reading the IMDb trivia. And it said that one of the causes of the budget overruns was because they used to have like crates of V8 juice.
Yes, it was V8 juice.
Shipped
That's right.
to Malta, and they said they had so much of it left over. They said they had a whole room full of V8 that they just started giving it to all the cast and crew, like when they wrapped.
I hate V8.
Cutthroat Island, a film that Colin picked going, let's keep the Renny Harlin train going.
Come on,
and I went, what Renny Harlin train?
Yeah. Did we do other Renny Harlin?
Yeah, we did the
Mine
Hunters.
That was like 6 months ago.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sure we did another one.
It was during October, because I think I showed it.
Him a lot.
I could have sworn.
Yeah.
No, we did Ford Fairlane.
Colin, do you know how long ago we did Fort Fairlane?
That's not the train still going.
Yeah,
I mean,
the train is rotten on the tracks, just like rusting up.
Okay, come on. All right. Well,
I thought maybe you had seen the Strangers movie.
No, that's so funny. It's because he's in director's jail, like just doing like foreign films and stuff like that. But
well, he's doing the Strange. He directed like 4 Strangers films or something like that.
This is so bizarre. This is like his sort of comeback.
We did Adventures of Ford Fairlane. Maybe it was episode 74. So that was like
we're over 150.
154. Yeah.
It's like 2 years ago.
I'm sure we did something else.
I think we did Mine Hunters.
Yeah. So
at some point.
Just those two. But come on, Mindhunters was
awesome.
Keep
the train going.
You're just always thinking about Renny Harlin.
He's always on my mind. And,
wait, so do you know about the Strangers things that Renny Harlin's doing?
No, I had no idea that he even directed them.
It came out in theaters. The Strangers,
past weekend.
Chapter 1. There's 2 more of them that are supposed to come out.
Who cares? Like
no one.
Who cares?
Oh wait, is it? Yes, Strangers Chapter 2, Strangers Chapter 3. Wow, we have so many movies in post-production. The Postcard Killer or Deep Water. Oh, that one it says it's done. Huh. Well, you can't keep a good Renny Harlin down.
Wasn't Deep Water that fucking Ben Affleck movie?
That you're thinking of Dark Water or something?
Dark
we just talked about
with
it.
Ana de Armas?
We talked about it when we talked about Dead Again, probably.
Probably like sleazy sex thrillers.
Oh, man. Renny Harlin made that stinky Aaron Eckhart, The Bricklayer. Bad.
Oh, you mean like The Beekeeper?
Yeah, it was The Beekeeper, The Painter.
The Bricklayer.
The Painter, The Bricklayer, The Plumber, the Drywaller.
What's another one?
Come on, Colin. We're doing a riff here.
You watch these
the potty cleaner,
the flooring guy,
the woodworker,
the deck builder,
the picture hanger,
the electrician,
the drywall man. Wait, that was already said, wasn't it? Oh no,
the guy who comes in and builds your deck.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
That's it. Renny Harlin's making them all for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. That was his comeback.
When did Renny Harlin lose the juice?
This movie.
Probably after this movie. No, but
I will say, I'm looking here. 12 rounds is pretty lame. You know what? He lost the juice after Mine Hunters. That's when he lost it.
Well, when was Driven?
Driven was right before Mine Hunters. It was 3 years before that.
So was it after Long Kiss Goodnight?
Yep. So it goes Cutthroat Island, Long Kiss Goodnight, Deep Blue Sea, Driven, Mine Hunters. And then, listen to this row of stinkers. Exorcist The Beginning, The Covenant, Cleaner, 12 Rounds, 5 Days of War. Then he's in TV Land directing episodes of Burn Notice. Oof,
Oh,
PU.
God, really?
The Legend of Hercules, Skip Trace.
Oh God.
Is that the Jackie Chan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Legend
boy.
of the Ancient Sword and Bodies at Rest, which are two mainland Chinese blockbusters. The Misfits, which is a vanity project and one of the worst action films I've seen in a long time, but does feature a godlike Pierce Brosnan performance.
Wow, I've never
Okay.
even heard of it.
Yeah, it's real bad. So yeah, he hasn't made a good movie in a long, long, long time.
And also, like Deep Blue Sea, like we all love it, but I mean, it's not.
The world
considered
loves
good.
Deep Blue Sea,
But
I
isn't
think.
Long Kiss Goodnight considered actually a really good movie?
Yeah, people love Long Kiss
It's
Goodnight.
like
It
a
flopped, though.
Shane Black,
Yeah.
Oh,
Sean Toronto.
I don't know anything about it. Gina Davis is in it.
Mm-hmm. I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
s-
I
I was going
I
to save
played
that
it one
for,
year.
I was going to save that for Christmas, one of our Christmas episodes.
Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah.
But I thought
Yeah.
it was a good movie.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, then it's
Yeah.
too good for this podcast.
No, it's
No.
not. Please, please.
So we're going to continue Rennie Harlan months.
Yeah.
Deep Blue Sea. Wait, we're speaking on the Patreon this week of what commentaries we could do. Driven.
Yeah, oh.
Cullen worked on that.
Well, it's weird. I kind of did and didn't. It's very, it's
okay.
very strange.
You're not credited on it, are you?
No, and I met Rennie Harlan. Like he came into our office. He's very weird, but
Yeah. No, really?
we were kind of like off and on that movie. Like he was
Okay.
going to stop and start, and then I ended up doing some previs. He saw the trailer.
You figured out the bullet time for Driven?
I've never seen the movie, so
I haven't either.
Maybe be a good commentary
there's-
track then.
There's potentially a shot in there. So he had seen the trailer for Pearl Harbor, like
And it's like the rocket falling that he
yeah,
loved?
it's like the kind of bomb
Yeah.
falling, and then he wanted a shot like that in the movie of a tire flying off of one of the cars and flying into the air and into the crowd. So I prevised it.
Well, speaking of bombs falling, let's talk about Cutthroat Island.
Yeah, let's talk about the movie we're
Oh
actually
my
talking
God.
about. We'll get to Driven.
Okay,
maybe
now I
someday.
had never seen this movie before.
You often bring it up.
It's
though.
notorious, but
So I thought I had seen it, but like watching it, I think I maybe watched it a dozen times, but only the first 50 minutes before being like, something's more interesting over here.
yeah.
Well,
And then-
I'd seen some YouTube videos like about it, and it was on in the
I'm
background.
sure you probably watch at least 8 hours of videos about
Yeah,
it, right,
exactly.
April?
It was on in the background when we were at my mom's house for Christmas
so
or something.
that's where I first saw it. So
yeah, but we weren't
At
really
April's mom's
yeah.
house during Christmas?
yeah, it's like
weren't
the
really
volume was down, but it
watching
was
it,
on
yeah.
TV.
Did you watch it with my wife, Emily, April? Because she and her brother were obsessed with Cutthroat Island.
No,
Really?
I also had not fully
Yeah.
seen it until
Yeah, they loved it.
yesterday. Yeah, really.
I don't know why. I think we watched it together, and she was like, "Oh, this is boring now."
Maybe she
So-
just really liked Gina Davis because
maybe she was a Matthew Modine fan.
a real Modine
Or
head.
Frank Langella. What's his last name?
Langella.
Langella.
So
Sadly, not anymore, but back in the day.
yeah, back when before he started. Well,
Nah, he was probably
He was
always
probably
doing that.
problematic.
probably
That's
grabbing
it.
tushes at this
oh
time.
yeah, sure. Well, it's funny because we're watching it at your mom's place without the volume.
Yeah.
And I was pointing out, I'm like, that's Matthew Modine, and you would only known him from Stranger Things. April,
Yes, that's right.
where he kind of looks like David Cronenberg.
And you're like, I only know him from Stranger Things. I only know him from Full Metal Jacket. And I only know him from, those are the two movies he was in. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm like, he was kind of like
He seems to be a name, at least to you. Like,
Sure.
but maybe I just had never. Was he a thing?
he was a
No,
thing.
he was
He was
not.
not a big star. He wasn't
Yeah.
a big star. But
No,
he-
I mean, like, he's in, I'm looking at his credits here. Oh, that's right. He's in Dark Knight Rises.
oh
Oh, you
yeah,
didn't remember? Oh, Rises. Never mind.
No. Yeah,
the
not-
movie I don't even
wasn't he like
remember.
a politician or a
He was
cop?
in Birdie. That's the Nick Cage film. He
Right,
was the
Birdie.
yeah. And then Full Metal Jacket, and then Married to the Mob. Then a bunch of movies you probably haven't seen unless you're a big Robert Altman fan. Have you seen Shortcuts?
I do have
No.
a Matthew Modine story. I saw him
Wait, what?
at a film festival.
Okay. And were you like, there's Matthew Modine?
Well, I'm pretty sure at the time I was like, oh, is that the guy from Stranger Things?
Wait, you saw it after Stranger Things? You saw him after?
I guess. Because I think at the time I was like, oh, I know who that is. But like, so
Weird.
I went to a shorts festival with my work at the time.
That was ages
and
ago,
The
though.
first night was all the celebrity movies. So Bai Ling was there, Dean Cain,
Oh,
John
wow.
Stamos.
All the celebrities.
Celebrity.
Byron
Robin
Dean
Wright,
Cain.
Robin Wright Penn.
The stars stars are out tonight.
Dean Cain's movie
sky
was
is
so
black.
funny. And he didn't direct it. He was just in it. Someone else directed. But yeah, Matthew Modine had a movie and he directed it. And I cannot remember what it was. But
Wow, Matthew
he was
Modine
there.
has been in so many movies that like don't exist really. Who can forget the Mel Gibson, Diane Keaton film Mrs. Soulful?
What?
I've
Huh?
never even heard of that.
You just made that up.
Or
Mrs. Soulful?
Vision Quest, directed by Harold Becker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
The Albert Finney film, directed by Alan J. Pakula? Orphans. Never heard of this before.
I just was mentioning Pakula recently.
Yeah, you were asking if we had...
on your Discord.
Who can forget the Lemon Sisters?
These sound like fake
Yeah,
movies.
it's like, yeah, these are like posters that are up and...
Gross Anatomy, Matthew Modine and Daphne Zuniga together at last.
Daphne Zuniga from Melrose Place?
I'm laughing
I guess
already.
so. From the director of Night of the Comet, Captain Ron, and Soul Survivor.
Yeah,
Wow.
wow.
Oh, and the Bruce Willis comedy. Oh no, Keanu Reeves, The Night Before.
I never heard
No?
of any of these movies.
No.
Well, this was funny. Okay, so, but I remember when this movie was like in production and, you know, they were going to make it, and it was Gina Davis and Michael Douglas
Yeah,
in this pirate
He
movie.
pulled out at the last second.
Yeah, and
the story goes.
Gina Davis wanted to quit, but she was contractually obligated to stay on.
Supposedly, so did Rennie Harlan.
Yep, yeah, they both wanted to get out
yeah,
of here.
so they both did not want to make this movie,
Yeah.
and they made it.
And
Why did Michael Douglas quit, do you think?
he said, according to IMDb, that he wanted equal screen time with Gina Davis.
Fuck off, Michael
And then
Douglas.
the script was rewritten that favored her character more than his, and he was out of there.
In many ways, this movie is kind of ahead of its time for 1994, just as far as like a female-led action movie, because they're really, really hard to get made.
They bombed even back then.
I mean, you have B movies like where the female lead is
starring Jerry Seinfeld.
Well, the female
Colin was waiting for me to say that.
the female lead, you know, basically just has to like get her tits out and run around
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
so you can make movies like that. But I think it was a long time until we got like Salt
or something,
or whatever.
yeah. But I think like
Underworld.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the great
Underworld,
women-led
okay,
action.
there you
But I mean, like they were. I think they just got married before this movie started filming. So he was kind of putting her in action roles. Long Kiss Goodnight was after this. I have to revisit
So
that.
maybe she was good in that, but I don't
was
think
good.
she's an action star.
She certainly doesn't work in this movie for me because nobody does in this movie because everybody, first of all, is like you were saying, April, talking like they're just a regular contemporary person.
supposed
That doesn't bother me, though.
supposed
They
to
don't
be-
need to do, like, fakey British
supposed to be the
accents in these kind of
1600s.
movies.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
And what is the voice of the 1600?
Hi there, Charlie. Wait, hold on.
Wait, that's like 42nd
Oh,
Street.
yeah, sorry. I'm a pirate, hey? See?
Hey, I'm a pirate. Wait, he's Irish?
It's just like certain people
Da-da-da-da.
sound like they're from 1994.
Well, it's
That's fine.
Yeah,
Hey, Martin Scorsese can do it in Last Temptation of Christ.
Sure, why not?
Why can't he do it in
Yeah.
Cutthroat Island?
well, hey, if Christopher Walken can do it in Dune, how's it going?
Yeah.
that's the future.
I'm Christopher Walken.
Well, it's fantasy.
But just
Wow, he's playing himself in Dune, too.
this movie is kind of fascinating. So it came out in 1995, and it's very much a proto Pirates of the Caribbean.
It's so much Pirates of the
It's
Caribbean.
crazy.
but it's so much worse.
It is. So it's like, take Pirates of the Caribbean and like take everything that's interesting in it and remove it. And then you've got this movie. It pretty much follows the same plot.
It even has the same little pile of gold.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me how like the pirate movie there weren't good pirate movies
Well, there weren't.
until
Well,
Pirates of the Caribbean.
they were bombs.
Well, that's not true. There's lots. There was a whole pirate wave early Hollywood with like,
Oh, sure.
who Matthew Modine is trying to imitate here, like Errol
Okay,
Flynn,
Errol
Douglas
Flynn,
Fairbanks
yeah, okay.
Jr.,
But, I
and
mean,
Burt
for a
Lancaster.
while.
But at the
Gene
time,
Kelly.
in 1995, and I remember us laughing about it at work because pirate movies were guaranteed to be bombs.
Yeah, so one of the big ones is the Canon film production, Pirates,
With
directed by
Roman
Roman Polanski. Yeah.
Walter Matthau, I think, right?
Pirates.
That's
eh?
right, Blackbeard.
Yeah, they're notorious for bombing. Like there hadn't been a big pirate hit since I don't know, the 50s
I guess
or 60s
like people
or
just
something.
weren't into pirates. Really,
It had fallen out of fashion pretty much.
until Pirates of the
People
Caribbean.
love pirates, though. Like Pirates of the Caribbean, the original Disney ride. People love taking that
They
thing.
love taking the ride, but for some reason the movies. So we were joking at work, and I think at the time, like pirates, that was like a cursed, type of movie, and vampire movies were kind of like always duds, like back in the day. So we're like,
What about Lost Boys?
let's combine them and make like vampirates. It's like
Was there a vampirates?
there actually was. I think Tom Savini was in it or something. We looked it up later.
Well, there was a famous porno about
Oh.
called Pirates that came
One
out.
of the most successful pornos ever.
Also, I heard that it was like the biggest budget porno ever.
Yeah, but that was post Pirates of the Caribbean.
Exactly. So it was
Yeah.
like a parody of that.
Okay.
So really, Pirates of the Caribbean is responsible for that too.
It's definitely responsible for the resurgence, but I mean, you look at Pirates of the Caribbean, that came out in like what, 2003 or something like that.
I think so. Yeah.
What a huge risk that must have been. It's like really reminiscent of Cutthroat Island, which is like this notorious bomb. You've got this weirdo like Johnny Depp.
But Johnny Depp
performance
was
in it.
hot at that time.
Oh, sure,
right?
yeah.
But Orlando Bloom really hadn't been in anything other than
Well, he had
the
been
Lord of the
Legolas.
Rings.
That's pretty much it.
come on.
Keira Knightley, I guess, was just
she was kind
starting
of
to
just
become a
coming
star.
up. Yeah.
And that's why we're giving Gore Verbinski all the money that he wants for the Lone Ranger, which will never fail.
Oh boy.
But I heard that they had been working on a Pirates of the Caribbean movie
Yeah.
for like forever.
Yeah, it's funny because I think reading the trivia where it was like they were talking about somebody brought this movie to like Michael Eisner at the time. He's like, no, we don't want a crossover between our rides and movies. And they're like, okay.
But I mean, it ended up being like the biggest thing ever. And yeah, the
Huge.
later Pirates sequels are bad, but
Infinitely more interesting than this, I will say.
they actually did a lot of stuff really, really good.
Yes.
And the first, I think the first movie is the best one. But,
sure.
But yeah, a big issue I have with this movie is that there's not like that there's like evil pirates and good pirates, but they
Yeah.
all look the same. So when they're all fighting each other, I don't know who I'm supposed to be rooting
What's
for.
weird about this movie is that, like, about halfway through, I went, what is their goal? I know they want the treasure, but why? There's
Well,
not
I
really
know.
any reason.
It's
don't
just
know.
because they are pirates and they want treasure.
Yeah.
It's like, it's such an old, like, hoary tale,
Hoary tale.
H-A-H-O-A-R.
Yeah,
it's-
and you know what this movie has an issue with? And it's kind of an issue with most of Rennie Harlin's filmography. It's very leaden and, like, heavy. And that doesn't work for something that, like, a good pirate movie is supposed to be light and swashbuckling.
Yeah, and this is one of those movies where it's like so much is always happening on screen. There's just stuff going on, and the soundtrack is telling you, "Oh, this is so exciting."
The John Debney score. It's like,
Jesus Christ.
It feels like action for the sake of action.
It never feels exciting or
No.
engaging
I
or
was
interesting.
kind of with it, like the first time it happened, but then like it happens like 7 more times where you see like
Yeah.
someone's slow motion falling into something.
Oh my God, is
or
there
jumping out a
slow motion
window, or riding on holding a rope.
Yeah, there's-
But once you've seen it 10 times, you're kind of over it.
it's just weird. It's like it should be exciting because, I mean, it's clearly the actors are there amongst like practical explosions and
and
all
credit,
the sort of
credit where
shit
it's
going
due
on.
on that stuff.
Lots of like cool stunts and explosions and chaos that they really try to stage it so the actors like look like they're in the middle of it. I'm like, it should be more exciting, and I don't know what it is. It's just like the story's not engaging, the characters are kind of dull.
And I like Gina Davis, but she just feels miscast in this.
Yeah.
And Matthew Modine's okay, but he's like low rent Carrie Elways, right?
Yeah.
I could not stop thinking about Carrie Elways.
Did they not get Carrie Elways for this movie?
I know.
Like-
Well, that he's probably like, that's too close to the Princess Bride character.
Yeah, it almost seems like Matthew Modine is doing like his Robin Hood character or something. Like he's kind of dressed like it too. Like he looks like
Yeah, he's got the little beard and stuff like that
yeah,
too.
he's got like Robin Hood or Peter Pan. He has this like he's got the sleeveless like vest on, or I don't know what it is.
You kept saying everyone in this movie looked like Peter Pan. Including the guy from Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, Masterson's brother.
Colin had hookitis. He's like, oh, everyone looks like.
Yeah, but then April was the one that pointed out like the bad guy looked like
Captain Hook.
Captain Hook.
The powdered wig guy.
The powdered wig guy, the Governor Ainsley, I think his name was.
Yep. Well,
So-
all right. So we're going to describe this movie. Let's get to it.
But there's, you know what? It's like every scene looks the same.
It does. It's
I don't
very.
want to get bogged down with the plot because
Every scene ends the same. It's just slow motion explosions, people falling from stuff.
Yeah, we kept waiting. Like when Maury Chaykin is not on screen, we're like, "Where's Maury
Maury
Chaykin?"
Well, Justin, you said that a pirate movie should be fun and swashbuckling.
Yes.
How would we improve this movie? Would it be like
Number one, 90 minutes, which I know is an argument against, because Pirates of the Caribbean is like 2:15, I think, as well. Like it's long. I don't know, cut some of the slow motion out. Like that really slows things down.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to utilize it in an interesting way. Make the characters a little bit more active in the action scenes. Have them do things. There's a lot of stuff at the beginning where it's like, okay, something cool's going to happen. Oh, no, just the setup happened, and then we're moving on to something else. And it's like, okay. And then when you get an action scene, it's like, it's so long and uninvolving. There's no peaks or valleys. It's just kind of like unrelenting and not in a fun way.
And there's no like stakes really.
No, that's the
Well,
big
that-
issue.
that-
Yeah.
Well,
It's just like stuff just kind of happens, and they're both
like it's
Franklin-
weird. Like it's never about revenge, which it could easily be about.
Yeah.
As a character, Gina Davis's captain never changes. She doesn't have any like goals she's going towards other than treasure. The same thing with Matthew Modine.
Yeah,
Well-
and it's like Franklin Jella's character. Like they all just seem to be
Dog.
headed for Cutthroat Island. Yeah, Dog Brown.
well, I missed the beginning setup, but like, why did she just hear that her father was, captured by his?
Yeah. She
her
just heard it
uncle?
at the beginning.
And so she goes to save him. And the reason is, so I guess all of these brothers had a map,
A piece of the-
But why was it separated?
I don't know.
And why are they just bringing it together now? I
Okay,
don't
so,
know.
Yeah, Franklin Jella is the brother of Gina Davis's father.
There's
and then
3 brothers.
There are 2 other brothers, I believe.
She's got 2. I mean, unless there's more. This
got
movie talks about uncles more than like any movie I've ever
No, I
seen.
think
More
there's
than like
only-
a Jackie Chan movie.
There's only 3 pieces of the map. So there's her father,
There's
the
3
brother she
brothers.
goes and visits, and then Frank Langella.
Yeah.
Those are the 3
and
brothers.
Frank Langella killed another brother
Oh,
to get
is that what he
his
gets?
map.
So
Yeah,
there's 4.
So his piece of the map was from a brother that he killed.
Okay.
But
But-
he
which
is
you don't see.
also a brother.
But he is also a brother.
He is also a brother. So there are 4 brothers.
There's 4 brothers starring Mark Wahlberg. Who are the other people in 4 Brothers? It's really funny.
I don't know. Hey, bro,
Tyrese Gibson, Andre
my-
3000,
where's
and
my
how
map,
could I
bro?
forget Garrett Hedlund? We all
Oh,
love the star
good
of
Garrett
Tron
Hedlund.
Legacy, right?
I'm sorry, who?
Yes, exactly.
Oh wow, he's in movies that don't exist anymore either.
Garrett Hedlund?
He is unfortunately trapped in DTV hell with Mel Gibson now.
Oh, too bad.
Yep.
well.
Rest in peace, Garrett. Anyway.
So Gina Davis, whose name is Morgan.
Captain Morgan Adams.
It's a very piratey sounding name.
Sure, Captain Morgan.
So she wants to get. Well, I mean, she saves her father, but he gets shot, so he's dying.
So she didn't really save him on paper.
No.
Yeah, she kind of grabs him as he's walking the plank with like an anchor around his ankle.
The thing is, it all happens so fast, and we're like 5 minutes into this movie.
Yeah,
We're like, I'm like bombarded with things happening.
Yeah, you haven't really been properly introduced to the characters, to the plots.
We
or
have
what's
been
happening.
introduced to one character.
The best character in the movie.
Yes, the monkey.
Yeah.
Does he have a name?
Is that your favorite thing? Yes, it's King Charles.
Oh,
really?
It's not
Yeah.
my favorite thing because the monkey looked scared most of the movie.
Like saluting and,
I was
putting a
laughing
crown on
someone's
his head?
testicles off probably and ripping off their eyelids.
at the end of the
like
movie.
capuchin.
It's like it's supposed to be smiling with everybody cheering and stuff, but it looks like a really terrified smile. And I'd always do the smile to April, and she
Is
didn't
it-
like it.
He
Is
did
it
the
your
monkey
favorite
smile.
thing? The only way. Colin smiles like the Terminator does in that deleted scene from
Yeah,
T2. Where
exactly.
he's
That's
like,
how the monkey was
"Argh."
smiling. It's like just it's the skin around its
Is that in
mouth
the
pulls
director's
back.
cut?
Yeah. No,
It is?
I think.
Or it's just a deleted scene. It's a
Maybe.
very funny scene. I think about it all the time.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just saying the monkey's cute, but it's not my favorite thing.
No.
Okay.
I don't even know what my favorite thing
I know what my favorite thing is, but I'm going to save it for the end because it happens.
I
mean-
know what my favorite thing is, and it's a shot in the movie, but I'll mention it when it
Well,
comes up.
something that's kind of funny. The map of her father was tattooed on his head.
He's like, cut it off my head.
Cut my head off, so she has to scalp him. And and the whole
Wouldn't it have been
movie-
amazing if she didn't scalp him and she just like
Yeah,
carried
the
his
head.
like decapitated head the entire time?
That'd be way funnier.
So
And
yeah,
she's holding the skin flap around.
Yeah, that's got like stubble and
Disgusting.
like
What if it was
hair
like
and
really
stuff.
on his ass or something like that? Just, like, cut it off my ass.
It would be a lot easier to cut off.
Okay, so trivia also said that Oliver Reed was originally supposed to play this role,
But he was too drunk.
He was too drunk.
Literally.
Got in a bar fight. He was
Yeah.
fired after getting in a bar fight and mooning Gina Davis. And he also
He's out
told
of
Matthew, I think he told Frank Langella that it would be funnier if the map was tattooed on his penis, and that he would actually go out and get the map tattooed on his actual penis
Like
for the
for
role.
real. Yeah.
For real.
Did he know what movie he was in?
Not likely. Oh, Ollie. Oh, R.I.P.
You make it sound like he just died recently.
The story of how he died is amazing during the filming of Gladiator. By
Yeah,
the way.
wasn't he like arm wrestling the night before? And
Yeah, he was. He had like the list of like drinks that he had that day. He was out with his wife or something, and he got so drunk, and it was just like bottles and bottles of rum and beers and all this sort of stuff. And he was arm wrestling Spanish sailors at a bar or something, and was like beating them all, and then died of a heart attack.
he died the way he lived.
Yeah. Exactly.
Drunk.
Drunk and arm
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yep. All right. So we move on. Matthew Modine is introduced, robbing a gigantic ball.
Yeah, he's
Nothing-
like a con artist.
Yeah, nothing
A
happens in the
gala.
scene.
No, it just goes on and on.
It goes on and on and on and on.
And then they realize, oh, the map is in Latin. Who knows how to read Latin? So they just hear of this prisoner who knows how to read Latin. And who is that? It's
Matthew
Mr.
Modine. It
happens to me,
Modine,
yeah.
And then
whose
as the scene was
name
playing
is
out, I was like,
Shaw.
ugh, I wish I was watching Stephen Summers' The Mummy.
The
Mummy.
Mummy. That's what
Yeah.
we said.
It's so very similar.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
gonna hang him and everything.
Yeah, it's like they go to jail. He's like there. He's being sold as a slave.
Although he doesn't kiss her through the bars.
And they buy him as a slave. That's the same thing in The Mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also
Anyway.
they're looking for treasure. It's so very similar.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, whatever. So yeah, he can speak Latin.
It doesn't have that Stephen Summers touch, that
No.
crackle you need.
No, it's
Also,
just
that movie had a way better soundtrack.
There's just something missing from this
Oh,
movie.
wait.
Yeah.
You mean, is it Marco Beltrami? I think it is, right?
I think so.
We've had this argument before.
what
and the
about
fact
whether
that
it's good or not?
no, yeah, The Mummy. Well, we know the Van Helsing score is good.
The Mummy soundtrack is good.
Yeah.
And The Mummy is.
I love The Mummy.
Talk about your summer blockbusters.
Now
I
that's a
mean,
blockbuster.
Exactly.
God.
Aren't they doing a new one with Brendan Fraser?
I hope not. No,
Yeah.
don't make him
His
do it
back
again.
can't take it.
No, I'd read about it. That's Rachel Weisz and Brendan Fraser coming back.
I mean, we all
No.
love Rob Cohen's The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, right?
That's the one
Is
I
it the
never
one
saw.
with Jet Li.
Well, you know what? Coming up, I know the chick is a
Wait,
bad
wait,
movie.
wait. Were there 3 or 4 mummies?
There were 3.
Okay, 3. Gotcha. I definitely saw the second one, which was very.
I think that was terrible.
Much worse than the first one.
You know what? I like the second one, and it's wild that I think it came out a year after the first, maybe 2 years after the first. Like it was rushed out. Let's
And
see
it's not
here.
even
Yeah.
Rachel Weisz.
Yeah, 2 years. No, the second one is Rachel
yeah.
Weisz.
Oh, she's in it.
No, you're
No.
thinking of.
Yeah, she's in it.
she's
Am I
not in
thinking
the
of the
third
third?
one. Yeah, the third one has Miss A History of Violence in it instead.
Oh, right.
Did they recast her?
Yeah.
Yep. She's
Oh.
recast.
The days of recasting people. Now they just say, "Oh, she died," and then or they'll-
just
or they'll
recast
CGI
them,
her
or they
face on.
CGI their
Yeah.
hideous face.
Well, speaking of
The
which,
Mummy's Curse.
there's some good. There's some good and some bad shots of CGI in this movie.
CGI face replacement, but you
Yeah.
have to remember though, this was 1995. This was not a common thing
No.
at
No.
all. Like even when you look back at Titanic, which was 97, you know that is like a shot of like Kate Winslet and Leonardo like running away from the water coming down the hallway.
Yeah,
And, like
well,
know,
that
it's-
one's pretty
you
good.
could
but-
kind of see it
so-
like not working.
There's an amazing shot in this where Gina Davis like jumps, her stunt double jumps out of a window,
Yeah.
and then she rolls off rolls off the roof, and then lands on the thing, and then it reveals it in the same shot that Gina Davis is now sitting in the carriage.
Yeah,
I
it's
honestly
great.
was like, "Oh, she did that."
Yeah,
but
there's
she
some-
couldn't possibly do that.
No.
Yeah, that was
There's
really
some
well
really
done.
good like trickery going on.
Yeah, so
here.
you can see it looks like what they did is there's like a matte line where the roof is. Mm-hmm. So and there's like a little bit of a morph when she like throws her hair back
when
up.
she lands. You can kind of see it, but it's so well done. And
you wouldn't know unless you went like frame by frame.
And this is film, so do they do like they did like they ingest it and then they
yes
could be digital.
Maybe they shot 70 millimeter. I don't know.
No, I mean
it wasn't common though. Like they didn't
No.
face replacements. Like I remember when it came out, this was 95, and my producer at work was like, there's a shot of like Gina Davis falling, from something.
Oh, well,
it's like
that's not a good shot.
There's
two. The first one was good, and I think it's in this scene where they're escaping. With Matthew Modine.
There's one where it's a fight in a bar, and she's like, oh,
and she kind of falls off.
And it's like her whole body in front of it. Like they probably shot it on a green screen,
I think,
and then they comped it in. Okay, yeah.
There's another one that looked pretty good.
The first one was like actually a stunt double falling off, and they just replaced her face, which was actually very well done. And it was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
and then they do it again, and it's like, oh, come on, guys.
Well, I'm gonna say my favorite thing is like the stunts in general, which is kind of a cheat because that's such a big thing.
That's
but
fine. I mean, this film is loaded with them.
Yeah, and I mean, credit it where it's due. Even though there's so much and it all is the same, it all just kind of ends up kind of being a big mush in your head. I'm not saying there should only be a stunt every like half an hour, but when there's just kind of so much happening, you forget the really good ones.
Did you guys notice there's like that fight in the pub with Matthew Modine that he gets bonked by a barrel on his head?
I heard
and,
about that.
A big wide shot. Yeah. And he's like, you can see it. And it's clearly a real barrel that smashes into his head. And it like bounces off his head. And he's like, ah! But then the guy behind him kind of taps him like, keep going. There were so many shots of Matthew Modine
I want to see
in front of an explosion.
Yes.
They put people like close to, and I'm not saying I want people to get hurt, but there's really, really good practical effects and not just people like matted in later or CGI'd in later.
Yeah, that
like,
they
I
didn't really do that back then. Like this was all like, fuck, they blew up a lot of shit in this movie. Oh my God. I mean, you could see the money, obviously Karolko was the victim of that, but it's too bad. That money is on screen, baby.
Yeah, the money is on screen. The $150 million or whatever it costs. They say that it cost.
Yeah, I think it costs like $100 million in the end, and that was rare for those days. Like I think at that time, maybe like Terminator 2 was the only movie to kind of cost more than $100 million.
That's why this movie is kind of infamous.
And is the money on screen? So let's get the old inflation calculator out. So $100 million in 1995 versus the $270 million, something like the Marvels cost. Where is it on screen?
Well, I would say that this movie looks better than a Marvel movie.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Visually. I mean, it looks like rich. We saw we rented it on iTunes, and it was like a 4K remaster.
Wow.
They had just scanned it last year, 2023.
Yeah.
At 4K and done like an HDR remaster with like 5.1.
They went back in like, we have to redo all the visual effects.
No, I don't know. Well,
I know.
There's apparently a new color grade.
Yeah,
really?
It looked really good.
I didn't like how yellow it looked at the beginning, but it slowly kind of tapered off. And by the end, I was just like, yeah, this looks great.
Well, there's
very natural.
so much stuff shot at sunset throughout the movie.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah, I will say the whole movie, everyone looks like sweaty and gross.
I mean, it was probably so hot.
It's a pirate movie.
It was so hot. They were dirty, and then they're also like wet because there's like storms, there's wind, water crashing.
There's some great miniatures in this that are comped in with other stuff to make it look like big boats.
Yeah, really good.
I didn't even notice, but that's fantastic.
But I mean,
you can notice by the waves. Like the waves look wrong when it's a miniature.
Yeah, the water doesn't move the same way as a miniature.
And they do it like a Godzilla film or a giant monster film. And they always, when you shoot a miniature, put it in slow motion.
Yeah.
Because I can kind of hide it a little bit, but if you can spot it, you can spot it.
I mean, look at the pirate movies. They're sweaty and dirty.
Yeah.
Like everybody is.
I wonder,
gross.
did they use any miniatures on the pirate movies? Probably not, right?
I can't remember.
People are a lot grosser in this.
I don't know, man. I think you have to look at those pirate movies again. Everybody had like rotting teeth.
I'm just saying,
were skeletons. There was nothing grosser than a skeleton.
Keira Knightley still looked pretty.
It's just funny. Good. It's like you see that movie and this movie, and you're like, you're seeing the bad version of that movie here, and you're just like, with a few little tweaks.
How do you feel, Colin, when people are like, duh, but Davy Jones looked good in Pirates too? Why do we effects look like that?
I mean, yeah, fuck, he looked amazing.
He looked amazing.
I still think that, it's hard to top that, and I still don't think he has. But like, people are so disingenuous online. They use. I know the Twitter post you're talking about. It's like, effects looked like this in 2006, and it was Davy Jones, and then they have like Javier Bardem's character, and I'm like, that was like 2017. And they pick two of the worst recent movies to like use as the examples of like modern day CGI, and it's like, no,
what was the last like creature done in CGI that you were like, oh, that looks great?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Fuck.
Something
like I'm thinking like Dune, like the fucking sandworms.
Yeah, Sandworm looks great.
Anything in that movie.
Those look fantastic.
But then you're looking at like...
just Davy Jones is a little different because
he's different, yeah. But I mean, when that came out, and still to this day, it looked like there's so much of his performance coming through. But even like some of the creatures in Avatar, I guess, I don't know, whatever. But
yeah, they still look kind of cartoony in Avatar.
It's just their design, I think.
Yeah, it's hard
to make
people
them
like
not
to
look.
say. It's weird to consider that like, oh well, Pirates 2 they planned it all out and blah blah blah. It's like, not really. Pirates 2 and 3 were a huge mess. Like,
especially the third one. Like the post schedule on that was insanely short. Like,
was it?
Yes.
What? Don't shoot movies back to back. It was the shortest
like in the whole franchise's history. I think they had to do all the effects in like 5 months or 6 months or something.
Ugh.
That's insane.
Which is insane.
And because they shot it without a script too.
Oh,
so
God.
it's like,
but I mean,
what are you guys doing?
But now you go from Davy Jones, but then you look at like say Sean Young in Blade Runner 2049. Before she speaks, it's like fucking flawless. Like it's like flawless. Or you look at
I think the thing of Davy Jones too, it comes down to they made a decision of what Davy Jones was going to look like.
Yeah.
Earlier than in post, like, can we change it all?
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
we could, but
yeah, that's what that's Marvel. That's like their MO now. Is
can Marvel just go away?
Change everything.
Yes,
in post.
shoot it in a rocket.
Can Disney go away?
Yeah, I never saw Guardians.
The whole
3,
world is going to be owned by Disney.
Guardians 3 looks like shit. Like those effects look so bad.
Everybody
they look really
good
bad
for some reason.
No, they look bad. Yeah,
I feel like at this point, Marvel, Disney, live action. I don't even know if they're capable of doing something as good as like Davy Jones and Pirates 2 because of
like
the
effects
whole
wise.
Because of the process.
It's
because they won't let anybody finish anything.
It's just so
what are you talking about? The dog in that Harrison Ford movie that we all love,
Call of the Wild.
Call of the Wild.
Oh my God. They have to They have to
release the non-CG version.
That was like the funniest stuff I'd ever seen. It was like Terry Notary.
Terry Notary being like,
that was Terry Notary down there?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It was so funny.
I mean, I guess those Planet of the Apes movies look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they look... Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Actually,
you know what?
You
those Planet of the Apes look great. Yeah.
Fucking Koba looks
and they're getting
amazing.
better and better, although some of those apes in the third movie didn't look... But some apes look better than others.
Koba and the big, like,
the orangutan
looks amazing.
Yeah, fantastic. But yeah,
The Lion King. How could I forget that?
I know. Now I'm thinking about
photorealistic.
But that's the thing. It's like I don't want you to recreate a thing that exists. Do a man who has octopus beard.
We're all excited for Mufasa.
Mufasa, King of the Lions, or whatever.
Barry Jenkins has been trapped in those mines for like 5 years making that movie.
He's not trapped anymore, and then he's not going to be.
He's in like he's stuck in like
an interview where he's like, "I love working here." It's like that Tom Jones gif of like the gun in the back.
Please call Interpol, love. I'm a prisoner.
Keep smiling.
I have to go now.
Call Interpol.
I was hurt in a Boking accident.
Now I'm going back to virtual reality with my friend Barry Jenkins.
As we said, Barry Jenkins did direct a TV series, but this is what I say if you're a big famous director. Don't direct TV series. We're not going to watch them. Stop it.
Hey, I watched Devs.
Make one show. I mean, you and 5 other people.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It was a good looking show. It's creepy.
Anyway, back to Cutthroat Island.
Where are we? All the scenes are just blending together.
Matthew Modine, he's fine. He's not given much to do, unfortunately.
He's fine. He's trying at least, I think they're both tking. Zero chemistry like between the two of them.
Oh, none at all. Sure. You know what? It should have starred Rennie Harlan. He should have taken the Matthew Modine role. That would have ruled.
Yeah, hey Gina, over here. Look, it's me, a Matthew Modine character.
Do you think he could have done that? He's like, listen,
sure.
I know how to save this movie. I'm stepping in.
I'm the only one who can do this.
Who could have done it? Like, you're losing Michael Douglas.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Douglas. You just I
Get
remember
me Treat Williams on the line.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, but Michael
Or
Douglas
Bruce
would have
Campbell.
been. Oh yeah, he could have hammed it up.
Yep.
But I think I'm Frank Langella. I like him quite a bit, and I expected more from him. He wasn't
Really? I think he's fun in this movie.
He's fine, but
he's having a ball.
He's not like on screen very much.
Yeah, he's barely in this movie.
Barely has much of an impact, but he's kind of creative. He did say this was after Skeletor. This was his his second favorite role that he ever played.
What, dog?
Yes, he said he had such fun. He always wanted to be a pirate, and he said he just had a blast,
that rules.
hamming it up. But he did say this was the worst movie he's ever in.
That cannot be true. Let me look up Frank
that cannot be true. He was in Junior.
Hey, that's a great movie.
People love Junior. All right, I'm looking here. He was in the Trial of the Chicago 7. The 1997 version of Lolita, Superman Returns.
Superman Returns? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
that's
Brandon
right.
Routh movie?
He was Perry White.
He was Perry White.
Oh.
That's right.
He was also in Frost Nixon.
Yeah,
he was
Nixon.
good.
I saw that
He's
movie.
good. He's a good actor.
Wasn't that a Ron Howard?
The Legend of Despereaux. We all remember that, right?
Oh, that one.
Despereaux?
Hideous Mouse, voiced by Matthew Broderick.
Colin, who did you know that worked on that?
I do. My friend Cam, he said he had a choice between working on The Dark Knight or The Tales of Despereaux.
And he chose the Tale of Despereaux.
Yeah, he was really drunk one night and he's just like, guess who
my God.
picked Tales of Despereaux?
Oh my god.
This idiot. And he points at himself.
Oh my god.
Look at this hideous image from Tales of Despereaux. It's what the Letterboxd banner is. Just
God.
there's so much wrong.
Oh,
It's like
no.
a woman's face, it stretch, and then a hideous mouse man in the corner.
A mouse nose, a snoot.
Yeah.
It
looks
looks
like-
a giant snoot.
It looks like one of those food fight movies.
Tales of Despereaux was a theatrical.
Yeah.
Small mouse, big dreams. Who made
And
it?
it's like a mouse
Noah.
with a sword.
I thought it was like...
Oh, the co-director of Flushed Away, Paranorman,
Really?
Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget, a movie that doesn't exist that came out and no one watched. Yeah.
Wow, it looked terrible.
Paranorman was good.
Paranorman is good. You know what? Flushed Away. I remember liking it when I
I've
saw
also
it.
seen a
That was Aardman, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've seen
Yep.
part of Flushed Away, and I kind of liked it too.
That was the DreamWorks one where they forced him to make it CGI.
Oh, but it was
Yeah.
kind of in the style, though, of like Aardman.
Yeah, it still had the aesthetics of Aardman.
Right.
Okay, well, we have a lot of plot to get through, so
There
we're
isn't
going to
really
have to
much.
just do the Cliff's Notes versions.
There's not a lot of plot. It's just they're basically just both Dog and Captain Morgan are trying to get to the treasure on Cutthroat Island.
Yeah, and then they get the map. They put it together.
Matthew Modine gets a piece of the map. Morgan gets shot. He saves her. They
even
fall
though
in
it
love.
turns out he's not a doctor, but she just she lets him work on her because she knows he has. It's just there's some repartee.
The crew mutinies. They kick them off. They find Cutthroat Island. Then Dog.
Man,
finds-
Cutthroat Island, how, of a letdown is it? It's just
Yeah.
an island. They get there, then they leave.
Yeah,
You're like,
pretty
the movie's
much.
named after this.
She's like the blood-soaked mountains. I'm like, those cliffs aren't even red.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Well, the matte painting hadn't been done yet. They didn't know. It was in the-
It'll look good. It's just in the trailer, April. Once the full movie comes out, they'll have tweaked those.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that old chestnut. But yeah, so they find, and I swear, when they find the treasure,
They
swear
find it so easily. There's no traps or anything, is
but
there?
It's like that is the exact same cave from Pirates of the Caribbean.
from Pirates of the Caribbean.
It did
yep.
look like that.
Like it is exactly. It's like the middle of this like dark cave with like this light shining on it, and it's just like a pile of I don't know.
Yeah,
cups
and
and-
also
Wait.
like,
I also have to say that Frank Langella was in House of D, the David Duchovny film, where Robin Williams goes, Tropic Thunder full.
What?
I have heard of this movie, but I didn't know that was in it.
Oh God. Okay.
And also the Whoopi Goldberg film Eddie. I don't know what this is. Whoopi Goldberg becomes a coach for the NBA.
Ooh.
Oh God. Well, Frank Langella and Whoopi Goldberg were dating for quite
They
a while.
were?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you think David Duchovny is like? Does he call his crotch like the House of D?
Probably, yeah.
Welcome,
Absolutely.
House
Welcome.
of Duchovny.
welcome to the House of D. It's my-
I have a sex edition. I
Yeah,
made a whole
sex
show
addiction.
about it.
Yeah, I love that. It's just like, what do you get caught?
Do you
cheating?
think that David Duchovny's like a tender lover?
Depends. I mean, like, did he co-write?
He seems to be a man who would like fall asleep. Who would fall asleep during sex.
Well, that's like his character in that show.
Is it? I never watched Californication.
I watched the first 2 seasons, and it became too disgusting for me to watch.
It's just so like
wait, too disgusting.
No,
like
it's not the sex. It was just like stuff like he would be like hitting on like a 18-year-old in front of his like 10-year-old daughter, stuff like that. I was just like, I don't feel good about watching this anymore.
Like, I will go watch Thomas Jane in Hung instead to get my...
I only saw commercials for that, and I was like, what is this show?
He's got a huge dick. That's what it is.
Yeah, and like lady who was in other things is his pimp. And
does he wear shoes? That's all I want to know.
I don't think so.
No,
I think he's
absolutely
shoeless
not.
The whole show. Although I love Thomas Jane, but it's just one of the... Remember, like, all those weird HBO shows? Huff was another one.
Huff?
With, Hank Azaria.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember
Hank
that.
Azaria has made a career of being in, like, Showtime shows that have lasted, like, 5 seasons that you've never heard of.
Oliver Platt was in Huff,
He's got
too.
that Simpsons money. He doesn't care. He can do whatever he wants.
Hank Azaria has had, like, talked about... like really suffering because who was he dating? Wasn't he dating Jennifer Aniston?
Oh no, Helen Hunt.
Oh yeah, that's
Helen
right.
Hunt, and she was very successful. And he's like,
his
why
best
not
friend
me?
was Matthew Perry.
What do you mean?
Who's also
why not
very,
me?
very
Do you know how
successful.
rich he is?
I know.
probably?
But it's not enough.
Yeah,
like,
at the time though, like he's like, my friends are in huge sitcoms, and I'm just on The Simpsons.
I'm just on The Simpsons doing 10 voices.
Yeah, making like
most of them
$1 million
that I
an
can't
episode.
do anymore. Actually, The Simpsons weren't paid very well. Remember they had to go on strike?
Yeah, not at first. They weren't. They weren't making.
Sorry,
what
they
they're
were only
now.
making like $500,000.
No. I'm not saying
no.
that they were like poor or anything like that, but like it was.
Hey, listen,
they make
we
bank.
all watched the Hank Azaria 4-season show Brockmire on IFC, right?
Brockmire.
Yeah, but he was in Godzilla, and
That's right. But he didn't do. But he didn't do any of his voices. I wanted,
hey, he was funny in the Birdcage.
Yes,
That's
he
right.
Was.
That was pretty.
Yeah.
He was funny.
Do we need a vaguely ethnic guy to do?
He was funny in America's Sweethearts, where he basically played the same character.
Listen, he did one thing and he did it well.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know.
Now he's not allowed to do it anymore. So.
I don't know why we're talking about him.
Oh wait, he was Gargamel in the Smurf movies.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
I'm looking here at.
Azrael.
He was in Year One. Man, that's a movie we should do for this podcast. Did you guys see
is that
one?
the comedy with like Jonah
is it Michael Cera?
Jack Black, Michael Cera, and Oliver Platt,
Yeah.
David
Okay,
Cross,
I'm writing
Harold
it
Davy
down.
Ramis
Jones.
directed that,
I'm
I
writing
think.
it down.
Yeah, supposedly it was the last film he directed, and he was walking around going like, "I don't know why it didn't work. I thought it was good.
Yeah, just it's hard doing like a just not funny comedy. Those are always really, really tough. I mean, what's the last one that we did? Maybe like Master of Disguise. Well, I guess
I mean,
Inspector
I was
Gadget.
laughing. No, Inspector Gadget.
Oh my God.
I was gonna say
boy.
Geely, but that's not really a comedy. Like I don't think that that's even trying to be a comedy. It's more of like a drama with some apparently funny.
Inspector Gadget was probably one of the worst movies we've seen.
That we've watched for this.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
It's up there.
It's pretty bad. It was short though, so it had that.
Didn't feel it.
There's tons of scenes in the trailer for Inspector Gadget that are not in the movie.
Oh, I can't do
I
that.
have a question. What do you guys think about what I think that the movie thinks is the big scene where they fall for the millionth time, but they're going to fall onto rocks and they almost die, but then a wave just happens to catch them. How did
It's
they
lame.
shoot that?
Oh, they were
It's a fake
composited.
wave.
They were composited
They were
in, yeah.
composited.
Well,
Not very well.
Okay, so one of the two things I don't
It
understand.
was a Milo and Otis situation.
Yeah.
They killed multiple
God.
stunt people trying to get the
Well,
shot.
here's the thing. It's like they land in the water and then they cut and then they end up at different places.
Yeah.
And they're both fine,
Well,
but they're really banged up.
Let me explain how film editing works. No,
I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
no, don't do it.
Matthew
April.
Modine is captured by Dog.
Dog the bounty hunter.
Gina Davis.
Oh man, what's he up to these days?
Well, said a few things.
Oh, I ate too much sushi. Can we do a commentary on that? The Hulk Hogan sex video.
Oh no! I don't want to watch that.
I've never seen it.
Oh God!
We're gonna do an all sex video special.
Oh God!
Do
I
that.
think that Hulk video is long too. It's like
It's like I've never wanted to watch anything less.
I want to watch it.
I'd rather
watch
rewatch
Inspector Gadget
I'd
too.
rather rewatch Inspector Gadget.
Inspector
Gadget.
Oh, it's only 30 minutes.
30 minutes is pretty long.
Oh god, him just like burping and talking about sushi.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about the big set piece at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
This is the one that I fell asleep watching.
And I have to say, it is very loud.
Yes.
It is pretty impressive. I gotta say, it's it's 2 full-size ships that they built for this production. Just going at it, shooting cannons. It doesn't seem like a very wise strategy. I feel like these ships would instantly be blown apart.
This is apparently what they did in the olden days. They put cannons in ships, and they would just drive up next to each other and just shoot at each other.
It's like a drive-by cannoning.
Until one of them sunk.
Yeah, but this goes on for a very long time, and it doesn't look like much damage is being done to the ships.
It's like endless.
Yeah.
It feels endless.
It keeps going. But
And the music's like... da, 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 da,
And
da.
Matthew Modine is swinging down, much like Errol Flynn, I guess.
he does. He swings in slow motion right towards camera and stuff.
And then he just
There's a cool shot where the camera goes and there's a fade in the smoke. Did you notice that shot?
No.
Where it
No,
starts
I
on one
didn't.
boat and it goes towards the other boat.
Oh, yeah.
And it passes through smoke.
Yeah, and
then
Gina
so they
Davis.
allowed and then it goes into Gina Davis's
yeah,
face.
yeah. That was pretty cool. And there's some fun, swashbuckling here and stuff. It is a bit chaotic and, but it looks very dangerous because there's stuff exploding everywhere around. So Gina Davis goes over to Frank Langella's ship where all the treasure is. And she's like, fuck it, I'm just going to blow it up and sink this thing. So she sets everything ablaze. It's like gunpowder everywhere. It's blowing up.
Matthew Modine gets stuck behind something heavy.
It's the treasure slides back on him and kind of traps him. So he's
a
in the
real
lower
Titanic
deck.
situation.
It is, yeah. So she has a fight with Frank Langella.
She throws a cannon at him. I mean, shoots a cannon at him. And a really good moment, other than when she said "bad dog."
Yeah, she lights
Did
it.
she say that?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Okay. goes, "Bad dog."
She has like a torch, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna kill me with that?" And she goes, "No, Uncle, with this." And she pulls a blanket off, and it's a cannon, and she lights it. And he's like, "Ah!" But then she says, "Bad dog." She should have just said I don't know.
Whatever.
Bow wow.
There's got to be a better pun than that.
She should have said, "You're fired."
Nice to see you.
Nice
And
to
you're like,
see you.
But then he
weird.
flies out of the ship in a pretty cool shot.
It's
There
time.
won't be a Masters of the Universe 2.
How about Bon Voyage? No, that's from
It's
the
time.
other movie.
It's time to put this dog down.
Oh, there you go. That's good.
down to.
That's sad, though.
Yeah, it's true.
That's from League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Was I a good boy? You were the
Cannon.
best.
You were the
And then-
So there is a very funny shot.
No,
of
she
him.
should have said "good boy."
He's getting
No,
blasted.
bad boy.
He's
I
getting
don't
blasted back.
yeah, we're getting far from
Okay, it was strange.
bad boy.
And then she
Bad boy.
then she rubs his face in his shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look
no.
what you did. Look what you did. So she blasts over. There is a funny shot of his mannequin flying out the back of the ship.
Yeah. Clearly not him. Not even trying to be him.
I don't even think it's dressed the same as
What
him.
are some of the best, person about to be killed and then,
like one-liners.
yeah, no, the villain's face being like, ooh, I think of GoldenEye.
That's a good one, yeah. Fuck.
John Travolta in Broken Arrow
Yeah, that
before he
one's
gets shot by
pretty
the
good.
rocket. He just smiles. He's like,
I mean, there's got to be a montage.
I'm sure there
of
are
that out
tons,
there.
yeah,
There
just
is.
like-
Please send-
And it's
please
all,
send it
for
to
some
us.
reason, it's all Sean Bean right before he gets killed.
There's that one
right.
in I think it's Death Wish 4 where the guy is about to gets a cannon out a window.
Oh, it's
And
a
he's
missile.
Yeah, he's making making a really funny
It's
face.
like a missile launcher. It's like the end.
one of the punks. Yeah.
It's like the one from Invasion USA.
That one's good,
When
too.
Chuck-
Yeah, Invasion USA. Sorry, the best right before you die sound and/or face is, of course, a movie that I don't think we've done for this podcast. Academy Award winner Jamie Foxx in Stealth, where before he crashed into the wall, he goes, and then he crashes into the wall.
We've teased stealth for a long time.
All right, I'm putting it on the list.
Do you have a list? Because I have a list too.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the other one you said earlier in the
Tomb of the Dragon Emperor?
Okay, yeah, I'll write that down too.
And let us not forget Click, which I know that everybody wants us to do.
But let's save that for Sandman month.
Oh, yeah, Sandman month.
Okay,
Sanduary.
Well, now
Sanduary.
now we're wrapping up the movie. This is my favorite thing, and this is by far the most impressive thing in the movie. Is they blow up this fucking ship, and it was not a miniature. So Matthew Modine and Gina Davis dive off this thing. They dive looking like a stunt spectacular at like Universal theme park.
They do
Waterworld stunt spectacular.
Yeah, exactly.
they put their arms out like they're swan.
But they actually blew up this ship, and it wasn't a ship that was meant to be blown up. Like it wasn't built of like lighter woods or blah blah blah. This was a ship that they had used, and it was supposed to float and go through all this stuff. Blah blah blah. This thing, I'm surprised. Like they weren't all just impaled with wood like the other ship.
What you're saying is it was not a safe controlled explosion.
No,
I mean the other boat like kind of near it. I'm sure they shot with long lenses, but Jesus Christ, this thing is one of the biggest explosions I've seen. It's insane.
So that's your favorite thing?
Oh yeah, by
it did
far.
Look great, but I hope everyone was safe.
Well,
they probably were.
10 stuntmen died.
We'll buy a few more stuntmen.
Yeah.
So
has anyone been killed on a Rennie Harlan set? No, I don't think so.
Not that you know of.
Only Carol Coe.
Carol Coe and Matthew Modine's career.
Well, he never really had one.
Okay, so can you guys explain to me how they get the treasure? Because
I
didn't.
No.
It's not explained.
She tied a barrel before the ship was blown up. She tied a barrel to it.
Okay, but to what?
To the treasure.
It's like but it's not just like one thing.
Yeah, it was. It was all packed in crates.
Okay.
And all tied up together.
It was
That's
tied
why
with burlap.
Yeah, it slid and trapped Matthew Modine. So it's all like in crates and tied together. So she ties a floating barrel to it, so they could locate it.
So, but then how did they go down and get it? It's really heavy.
Well, first of all, the ship fucking blows up. Like I don't know. So whatever.
So there would be debris everywhere.
It sinks down, and you would expect the crates to be blown up as well. So it's implied that in that wipe between
they dove down and got it.
They dove down somehow
with their scuba gear
to the bottom
from
of the
the
ocean.
1600s.
They were at a place where it was only like 5 feet deep, so they were fine.
Oh, sure. Okay. All right. I'll buy it. So yeah,
and now they're rich.
The whole like deck is covered, but they all decide to just stay being pirates.
Okay, but do you guys remember where the guy says, "I always wanted to be a farmer"? Because she's like, "Hey, you guys, we can split this up and we can go our separate ways." And like he says, like I'm not sure if what they're saying is that yes, I want to be a farmer, or it was a joke.
I think it was just a joke.
So they don't want they have the treasure, but they're not about to like. You buy it.
There's
use
pirating
it
to be done.
We gotta be. Let's just be stinky pirates for the rest of our lives on a boat, even though we have millions of doubloons.
Yeah, there you go.
They died and were hung 1 month later.
Even like
that was a post-credit sequence.
Yeah, even the British guy joins them at the end. He's like, "All right, yay!" Who was like hunting them down.
There's a lot of turncoats in this movie.
Yeah,
people on the good ship go to the bad ship, and vice versa.
Yeah, and what's his nuts? You just said his name earlier, Justin, the Canadian actor.
Oh yeah, that's in everything. I don't have it in front of me.
I didn't even
here.
recognize him, but you did.
Oh, he's in so much stuff. You didn't recognize him?
No, he's in Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
What's his name?
No.
God.
I don't have it in front of me.
Oh my God.
It's like
famous Canadian actor.
Not famous.
He was in whale songs.
Oh my God. He's no Julian Richings.
Maury Chaykin. He's in so much stuff.
You.
My Cousin Vinny, The Mask of Zorro, War Games, Twins, Exotica, Mouse Hunt,
Exotica.
The Sweet Thereafter, Entrapment, Curtains.
I really haven't seen any of those.
Harriet the Spy.
You haven't seen Mouse Hunt?
You've seen Harriet the Spy.
I haven't seen Harriet the Spy. I think I saw Mouse Hunt when I was little, but
Mouse Hunt is great.
I don't remember.
Man, he's in like every Adam McGoyan film.
Well,
Adjuster.
Newsflash, I don't think I've actually seen an Adam McGoyan film either.
Really? Not even Where the Truth Lies, the Jerry Lewis Dean Martin biopic with Kevin Bacon and Colin Firth?
Oh,
not even close.
That's what that was called?
Yeah, it's not a biopic, but they're supposed to be Dean Martin and Jerry
Do they have like a
Lewis.
threesome with what's her name?
Yeah.
He did Chloe, right?
Allison Lohman?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did Chloe. You saw Chloe?
No, I didn't.
Maury Chaykin's also in Mr. Destiny, the magical Jim Belushi movie.
Oh, which movie isn't a magical Jim
Gone
Belushi
Fishing,
movie?
the Joe Pesci, Danny
I
Glover.
don't know
Are you
any
kidding?
of these movies.
Oh,
So I guess I just don't know this guy.
Yeah.
Was he on Degrassi? That's my question. Because you ain't
Wait,
you
wait,
ain't a
wait,
Canadian
wait.
actor.
might have been.
You have seen The Vindicator, haven't you? No?
Is that with-
Well, you've seen Vibrations.
Yeah, I
That's the
haven't
Vindicator
actually
cop.
seen The Vindicator. No.
How about Joan of Arc with Lily Sobieski?
No.
Did you see that one?
no.
All right. I got nothing.
So much for.
So anyway, so here we go.
Maury Chaykin.
Cutthroat Island is $100 million, made $10 million in its theatrical run.
Good
So
God.
brutal.
That is brutal. That's
How is that possible?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
Justin, did you say what your favorite thing was?
yeah, it was the shot where he rolls off.
Oh
Remember?
yeah, when Gina Davis
Yeah.
rolls off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this movie was a huge bomb. It was nominated for a Razzie Award. Rennie Harlan.
Of course.
He lost to Paul Verhoeven for Showgirls.
Yeah.
The superior movie.
Yeah, Carol Coe
Yeah.
was hoping that Showgirls was going to save them from bankruptcy.
Oh, that's right. Right.
Another huge
Yeah.
bomb.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey,
What are you gonna do?
Cutthroat Island got a 4K release, so it's. Here's the thing about the movie: it's not that bad. It's not. I'm not gonna say it's great, and
It's just dull.
It's surprisingly dull for a movie with
It's
so
no
much action.
Pirates 4. Pirates 4 sucks. Or Pirates 5? There's 6 of them?
What?
We recently watched the newer ones, and they're very forgettable.
They all
but
blend
those
together.
first 3 ones are pretty great.
I would
Oh.
take any of them, I think, over this.
Oh, any of them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
No, absolutely not. I
Really?
don't think I go past 3. I'd rather watch Cutthroat Island again. Yeah.
Really?
No, I think those, even as forgettable as that Javier Bardem one was, I think I'd probably watch that over this again.
Aren't they doing another
But I would
one?
watch. I'm not saying that I would never watch this again. Like it's not. It wasn't torture.
No, it was.
Pirates 4 was directed by Rob Marshall.
Oof.
Yep.
Wait, who?
How long is it, too? Is it longer than this movie?
Wait, was that the last one?
No, that's
No.
on Stranger Tides. That's 4.
That's the Javier Bardem one.
Yes, it is longer than Cutthroat Island. It's 2 hours and 17
Oh yeah, those
minutes.
just keep getting longer.
Okay, so Javier Bardem was 4.
No, it was 5.
yeah, 5.
4 was what's his name?
Dead Men Tell... No, yeah. So Dead Men Tell No
the guy from
Tales
Deadwood.
was 5. Yeah.
He was like
Ian McShane.
He was Blackbeard.
Ian McShane.
Yeah.
What was the one where they find like Poseidon's trident?
I don't
I
know.
think
I haven't
that's the
seen-
Javier Bardem one.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Huh.
We watched them like a couple. I think it was during COVID.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides that was like the biggest box office success ever?
Is that
I'm
the
gonna
third
look
one?
here. Oh my god!
the Rob
We're playing
Cohen
Who's on First. Yeah, the Rob Marshall one.
Rob Marshall.
Cohen wishes he directed. Yeah. So
Oh my
Pirates of
God.
the Caribbean on Stranger Tide made $1.46 billion.
God.
1.4
Billion.
billion
Jesus
dollars.
God.
Okay, before we sign off,
Yeah.
I have one more question.
Okay.
Are
Yeah.
there other good pirate movies?
Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger
no,
Tides.
other than the Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
No, I mean like the older ones going back to like Captain Blood.
From 1980 to now.
Oh, it's just crickets.
Other than Muppet Treasure Island, which I've never seen.
Oh, great movie.
Yeah.
Did you ever see
I'm
a
gonna
movie
look.
called Nate and Hayes? It was
No.
with Tommy Lee Jones. Hold on a second. I believe that was a pirate movie. I remember.
I mean,
Tommy Lee
like Master and
Jones.
Commander doesn't really count because they're not
Ooh,
pirates.
Master Commander is very good.
It's a ship movie, but they're not pirates, right?
The DreamWorks Sinbad with Brad Pitt doing the main voice.
Oh, the
No?
the cartoon?
Yes.
Okay, I never saw it.
Okay, so there was a movie called Nate and Hayes.
Okay.
I'm going to send you the picture. Hold on. It's starring Tommy Lee Jones. I remember that.
Tommy
in
Lee
high-
Jones pirate movie.
I remember that in high school, that being a lot of fun.
Project A, the Jackie Chan film,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
involves pirates.
Nate and
yeah, I have it.
Hayes.
Nate and Hayes, directed by Ferdinand Fairfax. I've never heard of it before.
Nope.
Tommy Lee Jones, Michael O'Keefe, Jenny Seagrove,
Partners
Okay.
in piracy, rivals in romance,
Allies.
allies in
aka
adventure.
also known as Savage Islands.
Okay. don't know.
I've never heard
Don't
of
take
this.
my word, but I remember it being good in high school.
Hey,
it may be a
we-
piece of shit.
All love the Disney classic Treasure Planet.
There you go.
Yeah, I will say there have been several successful...
The Muppet Treasure Island.
I said that like 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
There have been several successful pirate TV shows since then. There was one
we
called
all
Black
watched
Sails.
Black Sails.
Yeah.
Our
I never
Flag
saw
Means
it. And
Death.
Our Flag Means Death. That's again, I haven't seen either of these, but many people have told me that they love both of them. So
Yeah.
they're a thing.
Man, Cutthroat Island really led to like the death of pirate movies. Like there's nothing.
Well, it's like Colin was saying, they kind of were already not
They
a
were,
thing.
yeah, it was,
And
they were
then it
done
was like,
for.
we don't want another Cutthroat Island. Like it.
But you know what we do want? Peter Pan movies.
Oh,
More and
Can't
more
get enough.
Peter
Those
Pan
Peter
movies.
Pan and
Pirates.
Robin
I will
Hood
say,
movies.
I love Hook, and there's pirates in that.
give me,
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I don't think this movie is very good, but it's a light recommend. It's a curiosity.
Yeah.
It's definitely known as a huge flop, almost in the vein of Waterworld, which Waterworld kind of piratey
Oh,
too.
Waterworld
Yeah.
is so much
Yeah,
more fun than
it's
this.
way
I
more fun.
would agree, but there's still stuff to see in this.
For sure. I mean,
But
like,
it gets to be so much after a while
Yeah,
that
it's very
the same
repetitive.
thing over and over.
but they're crazy stunts and crazy, like, if you this seems like the last of the big, like, kind of practical
Kind of,
fucking
yeah.
extravaganzas.
It's absolutely worth seeing. Okay.
Yeah, check it out.
Justin just sent us a Primates of the Caribbean. What is this?
It's an animated monkey pirate
This looks
movie.
like something you would get at the dollar store.
Yeah.
That animation.
That's
Oh
so
my
terrible.
God.
It's directed by someone who did one movie.
Colin, did any of your
It's
friends work
probably
on
like-
this?
No.
It's probably like Finnish or something like that, like some weird like Yugoslavian or Yugoslavia. I don't know.
Not the guy who did
But-
the nut job.
It was like the,
No.
all those like asylum movies. I remember when Pirates of the Caribbean
Yeah.
came out, and it was just like Pirates of the Bahamas or something, and it was
Yeah.
like,
I will say one piratey thing that I do love, Donkey Kong.
The pirates who don't do anything, a Veggie
No,
Tales
no, no.
movie.
Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest,
Oh.
the Super Nintendo game. That is a pirate-themed game, and it's one of my favorite video games of all time.
I mean, I love Donkey Kong's Firm Behind, but that's pretty much
Exactly.
it. You didn't work on that Donkey Kong animated show, did you, Colin?
oh no, God.
No way.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, well, if you want to watch Cutthroat Island, the 4K is available to rent on iTunes, which is what we did. So
Yeah, it's a remaster. It looks great.
it's a remaster, and apparently there's a 5.1 surround sound mix. So it's out there. It's available. Check it out. And if you want to find us, if you want to email us, we're at no such thing as a bad movie at gmail.com, and we're on Twitter and Instagram at no such thing pod, and we're on YouTube. Just search our name, No Such Thing as a Bad Movie. And if you want to support us on Patreon, we're at patreon.com/no such thing as a bad movie. And if you want to support us, we have a $2 level and a $5 level. And at the $5 level, you get a bonus episode every 2 weeks where we talk about new things like Furiosa, which we
answer listener questions.
That's right. And you also get a bunch of other stuff like Q&As and commentary tracks, which we're talking about releasing a new one very soon. So that's coming out soon. That content is on there. And if you want to find me, I am on Twitter and Instagram at April at Mansky.
You can find me on Twitter, Decloux, DECLOUX, or every week on the Important Cinema Club, the Very Fine Comic Book Podcast, and the Bay Street Video Podcast.
You can find me on Twitter. I'm Sergeant Zima, SGTZIMA.
And that's it for this week. What will we talk about next time? Another summer blockbuster?
Another Rennie Harlan.
Oh, wait. Yeah, when is the listener choice coming up? Is it soon?
No,
Is it
it's
soon?
not soon.
Oh, phew. All right.
Thank God.
That's right. If you're on our Patreon
Live
at the
to fight another
the
day.
$2 level and up, you can pick an episode if you get
It
picked
could
for
be
the
Inspector Gadget, too.
Bad Movie Lottery. Yes.
I want to talk about French Stewart a little bit.
You can do that at any point in the podcast. You don't have to wait.
You can do that at any
You don't have
point
to
in your
watch it.
life.
Oh, yeah. I'm just picking people off the street. And I was
Guys,
like,
I want to talk about French Stewart.
did you know that French Stewart was in Leaving Las Vegas, the Mike Figgis, Nicolas Cage, Elizabeth Shue movie?
I did not know that.
Did you know that he was in? He played an army guy in
Stargate?
Stargate.
What?
He was like a wise ass like army soldier.
I missed
And
that.
who could forget the classic film Clock Stoppers, which Fred Stewart is third billed in.
Wait, didn't like Jonathan Frakes?
Jonathan Frakes directed that. Yes.
Oh
my God, Jonathan Frakes directed the Thunderbirds movie.
Yes, he did.
Oh, what?
Whoa.
How did I not know?
I gotta
this?
write that
the
down.
Thunderbirds movie.
Yeah, with Bill Paxton. Okay, I'm writing that down. Hold on.
Bill
Don't let me
Paxton.
forget. Don't let me forget. Here we go.
All right. Well,
It's like Memento. You're like drawing a rocket on your arm, or Ben
Thunderbird.
Kingsley's face.
Thunderbirds. What was the other
he
one?
had some other movie that he was gonna do this week and he forgot.
Mummy 3, and then what was the third one?
I wrote the other one down, which I now forget what it was.
Oh, God, memories.
Stealth. But yeah.
Stealth.
Okay. Coming up soon. Anyway,
soon.
That's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. I'm April Atmansky.
I'm Justin McClue.
I'm Colin Cunningham.
And remember, there's no such thing as a bad movie.